Just different.
What's going on, y'all? It's Player Talk Radio. We back in the building. I got a quick tech show that I want to do on today's show. Got something that I want to talk to you guys about on today's show. Shout outs to everybody that's here. God dang, I got hair and stuff all over the microphone and stuff. So, I wanted to do a quick show today. Thank you guys for being in attendance on today's show. Definitely got a great show for you guys, today. And, I want to give you guys a little bit of interface game. You know, a lot of times people hit me up and they're like, oh, podcast this, podcast that. How do I do a podcast? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna talk about? How am I gonna start my podcast and stuff like that? So I'm doing today's show to kind of show you guys and give you guys a little bit of information on podcasting and basically how to go about doing your podcast and recording your podcast. So thank you guys for being in attendance on today's show. Well, let's get straight into it. No BS. Let's just get straight into it. So, shout outs to everybody that's here. Thank you guys for being in attendance. Make sure you guys hit the links that's right here in the lower thirds. You know what I'm saying? And let's get into today's show. So, a lot of times people hit me up and they're like, yo, I want to start a podcast. What do I need to do? How do I need to go about, doing, podcasting and stuff? And I give them the game and stuff like that. But a lot of people, they need motivation on, doing something that they would like to do. And I would like to tell you guys that it's not as hard as you guys think it is. Podcasting is fun. I love the podcast. This is what I do, and it's a pleasure for me to give you guys this game. Now, I got a course that I'm doing over at Udemy, and I would like you guys to check this course out. Once I'm finished with it, I will have it here for you guys, and it's gonna be discounted. It's like $50 for the course, or I think I might put it at $30. I don't know, but I know they're gonna sell it at a cheaper price. But it's not gonna deter the quality of the game that I will be dropping in this course. So I want to get you guys, involved in what I'm doing. So anyway, let's start today's show. So let's get it. It's Player Talk. So often people hit me up. They're like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to podcast, I wanna do my show, blah blah blah. I wanna get into the podcast game. What are some things that I need to know about the podcast game? How am I going to get achieve a certain sound? How am I gonna get a certain setup? Blah blah blah. Whatever you guys want to do with your podcasting. And I tell you guys, it's a lot easier than you guys may think. So what I got here today are some of the interfaces that I'm going to be showing you guys on the course that I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to really go about starting your podcast, because a lot of people don't, you know, they just don't know where to go, what to do, what equipment to buy, what microphone to buy, what, things that they may want to, get to start their podcast. And I tell you guys a lot of times that you need to get an interface. Um, a lot of people think that what I do is expensive, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it is expensive. A lot of people, they like to be cheap, with their equipment and stuff like that. But honestly, when you're starting your podcast, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of tips and a couple of pointers. I'm gonna show you guys some equipment that you may need to go out and buy first before you go out and go get you a expensive microphone. Out, the thing is that a lot of people talk about tech, but they don't make it fun, or they don't know how to speak to people to get them into what it is that they want to do. And with a lot of podcasters, there's just a thousand ways to skin a cat, you know. So the tips and tricks that I'm going to be giving you today on today's show is, assuming that you guys already have a laptop, a computer, or whatever that you're going to be using. Make sure you guys already have a laptop and a computer already before. First, you want to get your computer. You want to get a lot of computers that I recommend to people are PCs or Apple computers, you know what I'm saying, or a laptop that's either a i5 and up. You want to get an i5 and up computer for what you're trying to do. Okay? You want to download Reaper. You want to download OBS. You want to download StreamYards, or you want to get these things, or Streamlabs OBS. You want to those are what's called DAWs, digital audio workstations. And those are what you're going to be using to encode whether you're going to be streaming and whether you're going to be doing pre-records or uploads or whatever you're trying to do. In this course, I'll be showing you guys everything. Okay, it is one thing for somebody to talk about it. It is one thing for somebody to have the equipment and be able to show you exactly what you need to get. Okay, now I just get straight into it. I'm not about to tell y'all no weird stories. Well, maybe I might tell y'all a weird story too, but it alludes back to what I'm talking about when it comes down to helping you starting your podcast and doing what you want to do. So you've reached the right place, and you've reached the right person, and you got the person that has the gear to show you what you need to get. Now, there's this company that I like, and they have a vast array of equipment to help you do what you need to do and what you would like to do. And I wasn't really a fan of this company. It's the name of the company is called Zoom. And Zoom, they make a lot of like recorders. They make a lot of handy interfaces and stuff like that. And basically, this, other than your computer, is going to be the heart of your podcast and what you're trying to do. This is going to be the heart of your podcast. This is going to be where all of your audio is regulated and everything. So your audio has to be on point. Okay, people will they'll look at blurry images and stuff like that and stuff. Cameras and stuff need to come like fourth and third when it comes down to podcasting. Your audio needs to be number one. Okay, so take out your crayons, get your notebooks and everything, and start taking down exactly what I'm saying, because I'm going to give you this game straight lace, no chase. I do this all the time. I do this, okay? I am not bullshitting to you when I'm giving you this information. The reason why I'm giving you this information the way I'm giving it to you and straight up is because I don't have time to waste with my time, and I don't have time to waste with your time. And I'm giving you a great deal of respect by just giving you this information. So what we're going to do on today's episode is we're going to be talking about interfaces. And the interfaces that we're going to be talking about is coming from a company named Zoom. And I like Zoom. Zoom makes a lot of interfaces. I thought that I would have to go with Sony. I do like Sony. Sony makes a lot of great things. But on today's show, we're going to be talking about Zoom because there's too many interfaces that Zoom has released that can help you with your audio and your sound. Now, back in the day, you have to have all of these big, elaborate studios and all of this stuff to sound good and to have your audio on point. Nowadays, you don't have to do that. You can run Hollywood from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to have big elaborate studios or none of these extra things to run your podcast. Like I said, nowadays there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. So let's get straight into it. So you want to start a podcast, you want to have your audio on point. The best thing to do is to get your audio together when you're starting a podcast, because you don't necessarily have to be on camera. You can be off camera, you can be on camera, and there's different ways to sound good. And there's different ways for you to get the desired podcast that you like. Okay, the type of microphones that I generally tell you guys to get are dynamic mics, because they're great for podcasting. You can do a lot of different things with dynamic mics. You don't have to have a sound treated room. You don't have to worry about room reverb or none of these different things, to have a great sound in your podcast. So what I want to do is I want to actually give you your podcast. So what do I mean by giving you your podcast? What I mean by giving you your podcast is giving you the unit that all you need to learn is this unit, and have it hooked into your computer that you already have and run it as a interface. You don't have to have no big wild setup or nothing like that. All you got to do is be able to have direct audio into your computer or your laptop or whatever you're using to be able to talk, be able to run your podcast, be able to run music, your audio, your radio, or whatever you're trying to do to get your point across. Okay? So aside from the microphones, we're going to get into audio interfaces on today's show. Now, if you have $300 laying around, and I tell you guys how to do this with under $500, okay? You can always get a microphone, and I'm mad. The microphone that I want to show y'all, I have that in is somewhere back there. The microphones that I want to show you guys to get, they're like $100 microphones. You don't have to have no big, and I actually bought this one used, but you don't have to have no big, studio setup. So make sure you take that stress off your head. Don't worry about that. Don't stress over that. That's not nothing big at the moment. All you got to do is have, just a regular dynamic mic that costs about $100. Okay, the mics that I'm telling you, they cost about $20 to $30 to $100. Not hard, but you want to have a dynamic microphone because this alleviates room reverb. You having to, sound treat your room and do all kinds of things. Okay, so that's number one. Don't worry about the microphone. Number one, don't worry about the microphone. I got you on the microphone. What you need to worry about is what your sound is going into, how you sound, and where your sound is coming from. So we want to get into audio interfaces. The first audio interface from Zoom that I want to show you guys is the Zoom H6. Okay, that's this baby right here. Okay, really good audio interface. Okay, all you need to know to run your podcast is how to use this. Is an audio interface, and this audio interface you can put it in your pocket. Is really good. As a matter of fact, a lot of the podcasts that you guys listen to have been recorded on this bad boy right here. This thing right here is basically your podcast. Crazy to say it. Audio wise, this thing right here is basically your podcast. And you want to get an audio interface because once you learn how to use this, once you start running your sound from your laptop or your computer through this, the only thing you need to learn how to master is this. Now, when it comes to your sound, you have to know about, I wouldn't say about, you don't have to learn about unity gain or none of those things at the moment. You just got to be able to learn how to use this, and you can run a podcast, whether you're hooking it up to your computer or not. All of these items that I'm showing you are things that you can use with or without a computer, okay? Which is called DAWless, okay? Now, you do need to have an encoder if you're going to be streaming or if you're going to be doing pre-records and stuff like that, or you can pre-record everything that you want to do on your podcast on this thing right here, and then what you do is you upload it to your you can slap a picture on it and you can upload it to your YouTube and you'll be good. Okay? So with this thing right here, what you need to learn is these right here are all your different inputs. This Zoom H6 comes with 4 different inputs. You got 2 right here and you have 2 right here. Okay? And then to monitor your sound, you will use this headphone jack that's right here. And you will take this headphone jack and you will plug your headphones in and you can listen to your audio. Also, what you want to do is you want to invest in a good pair of headphones. I tell you guys to invest in, a good inner ear headphones with, I tell you guys Sony, and we'll go over headphones and stuff like that. So you also will need headphones. So you can at least know how you sound, whether you're going to be going live or whether you're going to be, live streaming and stuff like that. You need to have an idea of how you sound. That's number one. Now, does the microphone play a role in that? Of course. Can every microphone be, ran the same way? Definitely not. Microphones are different. Interface is one thing. So we're going to focus on interfaces on today's show. So what I would tell you guys to get is this Zoom H6. Now, these go for about $300, $320. You can go on Amazon and you can get this Zoom for about $300, $320. This will be the best $300 and $300 or $320 that you've spent. This is your whole podcast right here. Once you buy this, you have a podcast. If you buy this equipment, you have a podcast. Now, Zoom makes a bunch of recorders that are similar to this, and these are just one of the options that Zoom offers. And what these ports do is that you can hook your microphones and you can hook all of your music and everything into this piece of equipment, this small piece of equipment right here. This is what I recommend that you guys get, because you can use this by itself, or you can hook this into your computer right here, and you can run this as the main interface of your computer. So if you learn how to use this with your computer, or you learn how to use this by itself, this right here will definitely guarantee you great audio. Okay? And it has the preamps, and it has everything that comes with it that, we'll get into that jargon a little bit later, okay? So we're talking to people as if they don't know what they're doing, because a lot of people don't know what they're doing, and a lot of people don't know how to start their podcast, and they don't know how to go about doing this when it comes to audio, getting it on the internet, and things like that. You want to get you one of these, okay? So this is an audio interface, and this is a pocket recorder. This is a field recorder. Now, what you want to do is you want to get one of these. And when you get one of these, you want to hook this up to your computer, or if you want, you can use it by itself. If you're going to use it by itself, you have to get what's called an SD card. And the SD card will go into the slot right here. And this SD card, what will happen is when you press record on this thing, because you got to press record. Shout out to Think Media. You know, this will record everything that you're recording into this interface to the SD card, where you can also upload it to Anchor or YouTube or anywhere else that you want to go. It will produce what's called a audio file. Also, this thing right here, it mixes and masters your audio. It regulates all the audio that you send into it, which is essentially your podcast. If you're going to start a podcast, the first thing you need to do is start an audio podcast. And when you learn how to start an audio podcast, then you can start adding your cameras and all kinds of different things that you would like to add to it. Okay? So you want to start with one of these, okay? And all of those big machines and equipment and stuff that you see running these expensive microphones, you don't need to have that. All you need to do is have one of these. So let's focus on this first, okay? Zoom has a lot of different interfaces that they offer. But if you do get any interface that I show you on today's show, you want to get the Zoom H6, okay? This is what you need to go. This is what you need to get. This is what you need to go get. You need to get this first. I will tell you to get this first, then a microphone. This actually comes with microphones. Even though you don't want to use these microphones for podcasting, this is the start. So the first piece of equipment, whether you have a laptop or not, is to get the Zoom H6 and get an SD card. You want to get the Zoom H6 and you want to get an SD card where you can record what you're doing on your podcast into this Zoom H6, okay? Now, these slots right here are what you're going to be putting your microphones into, okay? So this comes with 4 slots, which means you can have 4 separate people. If you're doing a whole podcast with everybody, you can have 4 people with you when you're doing this, when you're using one of these. This is your whole podcast. This is the audio interface. All the audio will be going into this unit, and everything that's going into this unit, if you have it hooked up to your computer, it will go from your computer. It will go from this to your computer, and you'll run this as your audio. So you want to master this first, okay? Now, Zoom has a bunch of other audio interfaces that you can use, and this is my favorite one, which is the H6. You can run your guitars, you can run music, you can do everything with this audio interface right here. Another thing you can do is you can get this Zoom H8. All right, now I understand that some of these things are, ashy. They're a bit ashy, but this is what you want to do. You want to get a Zoom interface, okay? This is the H8, their latest, one of their latest, podcasting units. But this is also for music and field recording and things like that. These are field recorders that are also used for podcasting. The thing about it is capturing great audio. You want to capture great audio. If you're going to podcast, audio is key. Same thing with this one. If you get the H8, you want to be able to, have a SD card, and you want to be able to, run your audio into this. Now, this has 6 inputs in comparison to the last one that I showed you guys that had 4 inputs, which is the H6. This one is the H8. It has 6 inputs, whereas the last one, it has 8 inputs. Well, whereas the last one has 4 inputs. My bad, y'all. Has 4 inputs. And what you want to do is you want to run your audio into your audio track number 1. And audio track number 1 will capture your microphone. All the other tracks, it will capture everybody else's microphone. Right here, you have another, which is a bit that you can take off. You can put a whole bunch of different bits on this. Right here, you have what is called, the stereo input, or these microphones which picks up everything for field recording. This comes with a a aux cable port right here. So any music that you guys want to run into your podcast, like right now, I have some music here going on in the background that you guys can't hear, which is same music that I started today's show off with. You can run that into here. Okay? And once you're running music into here, to this TRS cable, then it bypasses these microphones and you can control your music right here. So now you can do what I'm doing right now, aside from the camera, where you have audio in the background and you have your vocals in the background. And what you want to do is you want to make sure your levels are correct. So you got to learn how to use, these knobs right here and make sure everything sounds good on the recorder going into your computer, because everything that's going on from this recorder is going to be going into your computer, and you want to use that as your interface. Okay? Whether you have a computer or not, you want to make sure you get your audio correct so that you can run your podcast, right? And the reason why I'm doing this show is to make sure that you guys are more focused on what you're talking about instead of actually focused on, on your sound and everything, or how, you want to be able to focus on your content more than anything else. Sound, after a while, when you realize what you're doing, is going to be a thing of the past when you get items like this, because it makes what you're doing a lot easier. Okay? So you have these two recorders that you can get from Zoom. Okay? You have these two recorders that you can get from Zoom, which are pretty dope, which I would rather you get this one out of all of them. Now, if what you're doing is strictly podcasting, another audio interface that you want to get from that you may want to get from Zoom, if these don't appeal to you, that is strictly for podcasting, is the Zoom PodTrack P4. You want to get this audio interface right here. It has the same thing as the H6, 4 audio inputs right here. And then at the same time, it has 4 headphone jacks, whereas the H6 only has 1 headphone jack right here, where you see the headphones. See what I'm saying? This has 4 of them. So this one is more built for podcasting. This P4 is built for podcasting. If you want to dump on sound effects and stuff like that, you have the sound effects right here. And then at the same time, you can monitor your audio and you can run this as an audio interface. A lot of people that you guys are going to be hearing about in this space, I've recommend this to them. And this works like a charm. Now, you have your TRS or TRS cable where you can hook your phone into and you can have your music in the background the same way how I have the music in the background right now. You have your microphone input where you want to do input number 1, which will be on this side. And then you have, you have everything you need right here in this unit to start your podcast. And these knobs right here are for your headphones or for everybody else that's recording with you for their headphones, because these other field recorders, they only have 1 headphone slot, whereas this one has 4. And then you can also hook this into your computer aside from using it alone. This is why all of these audio interfaces, they come with batteries. So they're battery operated. So you can learn how to use these audio interfaces without batteries. You understand what I'm saying? You can use them with batteries. You can use them without batteries. So what I'm showing you is that you can use them by themselves or you can use them with batteries. So this is basically your whole podcast right here. You go get you a P4. You either go get you a Zoom H8 or you go get you a Zoom H6. Okay? Now all of these, this is about like $1,000 worth of equipment. All of these are great choices when you want to start your podcast. You know what I'm saying? Also, we got some new stuff in from Zoom that I paid with my own money. Zoom, all of this stuff I paid with my own money. I'm not endorsed by Zoom. Zoom didn't say, hey, Cuda, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, say something good about this. No, these are all great units. So we got something in new from Zoom, which is the Zoom U22. I have yet to use this just yet, but this is a great option. Ooh, shit. This is a great option. I just dropped the booklet. This is a great option if you guys want to start your own, your own podcast. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a great show. Now this one is the U22. This one is pretty good. When you see the XLR cable that looks just like this, what that means is that you can run your microphone into it, or you can run a guitar amp into it. And this is actually good for solo recording. I don't know if this can run audio like music into it, but we'll test it out. Make sure you guys sign up for my course over at Udemy. But this is a great audio interface, and it gets smaller. This is about $89 to $100. You put your batteries into it, and you can run this outside in the field or wherever you're going. You understand what I'm saying? And this is your podcast right here, fellas and ladies. It's your podcast right here. Plug your microphone into it, and this little thing has enough power to run a powerful mic just like this, which is a Shure SM7B. So, you want to learn how to get your dials right. You want to get your audio right, and you definitely want to use your headphone port, which is right here, and you definitely want to use your line in, and you definitely can just run your podcast from something as small as this. All it really is that you need to get your audio out, whether it's just you speaking or you're adding music into your recording. So make sure you guys go over to Zoom and go get as much. You don't have to get all of these interfaces. You just need all you need is just one. Okay? You don't need to be like me and have like a whole bunch of interfaces and stuff like that. Okay? Like, y'all need to come over to Udemy and definitely holler at me, because I really do what I'm telling y'all. Okay? I'm the guy you need to talk to. Any one of these are great for your podcast. Okay? This PodTrack P4 starts at $200. I will tell you guys to get this, because everything that you want to do, you can do it with this PodTrack P4, which is everything that you want to do. You can do it with this, also with this H6, right? Which is about $320, right? Or you can do $400, or you can get it on a deal for $350. I've seen them go down to $350, and you can get this H8, and this is your whole podcast. I haven't used, let me turn this music off. I have not used this just yet, but I will be using this probably on future shows, and I can show you exactly how and what to do with something as small as this. So this is basically for the single podcaster. This is with somebody that's either single or has 4 people that they would like on their podcast. Same thing with this, single, 4 people on your podcast. Same thing with this, single or 6 people on your podcast. Also, if you got 8 people, there's capsules you can buy, which you can put on these, which doesn't come with this, and it doesn't come with this, So there's a billion ways to skin a cat. But all I'm saying is that what you need to do is you need to work on your audio, and all 4 of these units that I've showed you guys, they're they're under $500, and you can get your podcast off the ground. Also, like I said, you need to have an SD card. This thing doesn't take an SD card. This is just strictly for audio. So when you're starting a podcast, you just need to get an audio interface, make sure your audio is on point, and make sure you guys are, are able to have clean audio going into your live stream, going into your pre-records, or just make sure your audio is on point. Audio is key, okay? People will not listen to a fucked up video. Audio can make or break your video, okay? People will watch a crazy, people will watch crazy resolution, but what they're not going to do is listen to messed up audio, because all podcasts are not just watched. They're listened to before they're watched, okay? So that was today's show. Thank you guys for coming through. We are out. It's Player Talk TV. Let's get it. Let's go. We out.